This is lesson 11, one more to go and we've completed aim B. This lesson is about sources of revenue and costs. So it's a nice straightforward one. So we're on our nearly on our final leg of aim B. Lesson 11, sources of revenue and costs. So we're looking at understanding startup and running costs, being able to calculate startup and running costs and knowing the difference between them with examples. Straightforward in terms of our key learning points, and we need to make sure we've understood fixed and variable costs. And back to the words we've seen before in terms of vocabulary, revenue, and the different types of fixed costs, variable costs, running costs, startup costs, all those different words. There you go. This one's hopefully straightforward. Let's break you in gently then. Question 1, what is revenue? This should be a really good reminder for you, and that is a definition you write in question 1, and in question 2 the formula for revenue. Question 3, give details of 4 sources of revenue other than sales turnover. So we've already counted sales turnover, we've already had a thinky thought about that on the last couple of questions. Now you've got to think about other ways that a company can make money. So we've just been covering assets and liabilities, so now you need to think through those. You write the definition of each in the left hand column and then the explanation on the right hand side. So you've got to break down what you think the asset might be, and a good start would be to look into what types of current assets you can have, and maybe fixed term assets as well. But we've got to think of revenue is in terms of the money being available to the business. So I suggest it might just be current assets. Question 4. Using appropriate examples, explain what startup costs are. Question 5. Using 2 examples, you might want to use the ones above. Explain what a new business owner needs to make sure they have enough money for startup costs. So this way around, you've got to think of the things you need the startup costs for and explain why you've got to cover that right at the beginning. Question 6. Running costs are the day-to-day costs involved in running a business. These costs fall into 2 different categories, fixed and variable costs. We've come across the words before. Explain the difference in your own words between fixed and variable costs and give examples of each. So yet again, no copy and pasting because you've got to get it in your own words. We've come across them before, so we want your definitions and your examples. Question 7, provide the formula for startup costs. Now here's the exam style questions. This is how they're laid out. We've got the first one about Jasmina, who wants to improve the way she controls her spending. She needs to calculate her annual total costs. State the formula used to calculate total costs. That's 1 point. Write your answer there. Part 2 of the question. Using the data, the bit below, calculate the total costs for the year for JSG Limited. So you've got the items, you've got the figures, you might have to calculate a few things, and then your calculations and your final answer will get you your 2 points on this question. You'll be relieved to hear this is the final question on this lesson 11. Tyler wants to increase the size of his photography enterprise. He will need an understanding of his costs and revenues. Using the data below, calculate the total costs for Tyler's photography enterprise for the year. So you've got 2 figures. You've got £1,420 fixed costs and total variable costs for the year £1,500. I think this one should be relatively straightforward, hopefully.